Yo, what's happening everybody? King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Go Backlines video. Today I'm going to be showcasing another very fun team in the Evolution Cup. As you guys seen yesterday, we were up the whole way to 3350 elo, and of course I do want to grind up and get like a really high score, get on the leaderboards when they update. It's been about 4 or 5 days since I've updated. But today, after kind of sweating for free sets, I decided, you know what, it's probably time to have some fun. We've done extremely well this season, and we're going to bust out Shadow Hunter. I built myself the Shadow Hunter today. It was a lot of fun to use. I've got Vigoroth in the lead here to get basically shield advantage. As you can see in this matchup, we get the shield off Dragonair. And what we're going to do here is just let this move go. I almost never shield Primeape, which is kind of hilarious. Primeape's a glassy Pokemon, and we farm it the whole way down with Hunter. The opponent here, they're thinking long and hard about what to come back into. They come into a Golbat. Now you guys might notice I'm using Sludge Bomb instead of Shadow Ball. Sludge Bomb is a very hard-hitting move as well. The reason I wanted Sludge Bomb instead of Shadow Ball is just in case the opponent wants to try and catch on a Vigoroth. I'll look to basically Sludge Bomb the Vigoroth, which does about 80% of its health. The opponent comes into a Charge Bug right here, and we're going to just absolutely YOLO the Sludge Bomb. Does this one-shot the Charge Bug? It absolutely does. And at this point, guys, we can farm down the Golbat. If you give this Pokemon a shield, it is just so much fun to use. Anyway guys, welcome on back to the channel. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Do me a quick favor, drop a like in the video, subscribe, it's absolutely free, and of course it helps out an absolute ton if you enjoy these videos. Now in this game here, we have a Crocalor. Quite an interesting pick, and it's a Pokemon I was trying to use today. I don't really like using this Pokemon personally, but this thing absolutely has a ton of play in the meta. They go for the crunch right here, and I decided to let myself go down. Pretty much what I decided to do is, because they would have the energy lead, and it would be kind of rough for Hunter, so I decided, okay, we're going to let that go down. We're going to tank whatever they want to throw, Ice Punch, whatever the case may be. And I'm going to come in with Hunter and shield once, farm the whole way down. We're going to get an absolute ton of energy with Hunter. And in even shields with an energy lead, or up a shield, Hunter just absolutely sweeps Backlines. They do get the boost. Triple resisted counter is not going to do too much to us there. And back in comes the Crocalor. We're going to go straight forward here. I think my loose con is going for a bait. The opponent lets it through. And in comes as well as in the back. Now, Dragon Breath users are extremely difficult for Hunter. This thing just gets absolutely melted away by them. Now, unfortunately, they farm us the whole way down, but we did actually get some energy earlier with Primeape, and we can look to go for an Ice Punch. The Ice Punch, believe it or not, does not actually one-shot Zweilous from there. Quite surprising, the Pokemon is very respectable bulk, but we do counter down, and that's a good game. If you can get a Hunter into the 1-0s or the 1s with an energy lead, it is just so deadly. Now, in comes a Golbat here. We're going to look to go for a Rock Slide immediately in this thing. Golbat does not necessarily have to shield here, they do win the zeros pretty comfortably. They just outpace the 2 Poison Fangs, but I'll be pretty satisfied if I can get it low, put it into a farm down range for Hunter, and basically look to sweep with it from there. If they shield, even better. Yeah, they let that through of course, they know they can live it, and they can easily get off this Poison Fang here. This is perfectly fine. This will give us like 2 Shadow Claws with the Hunter, maybe 1? Even 1, okay, we got 2 Shadow Claws, that's absolutely huge. And in comes this thing, so I decide, okay, they're going to shield up basically everything, and we should be able to look to sweep here. In comes Primeape, up a shield. And like, you've got 2 Pokemon in the back here that, if you give them a shield advantage, you basically win. So the strat on this team is, get a shield advantage and win. Now, we actually play off against one of my favourite players here, a Human Catcher Bug. He's running Togetic in the lead. Once again, the strat is no different, right? Togetic lead, it's pretty similar to Golbat. You cannot one-shot them, they don't have to shield this. But you actually do have to go for 2 Rock Slides on this thing. If I go for a Body Slam, it will not KO. And I have a pretty decent IV Vigoroth. A lot of people like using the sort of attack-weighted ones for CMP. I do find sometimes that I just avoid CMP, and I live moves on 1 HP quite often to get off a last-second move. As you can see here, he basically is forced to throw, and I'm pretty happy with the situation. We're going to come in with Hunter, shield once, we've got the shield advantage right. We're going to look to farm it the whole way down. They do go for, of course, a move here just to grab the shield back, and we'll see what they want to swap into here. They come into their Vigoroth. Guys, I decide not to Sludge Bomb on that occasion. I come into my Primeape, and I'm basically chilling here. They're over-farming. I could have went for Sludge Bomb, I should have went for it, that would have been so funny. But what I was thinking is, Henry showcased a team of his yesterday, with Swine, Golbat and Togetic, so I was thinking he might be running like an ABA Flyer team. That's what I was predicting at the time. We'll see what he comes into. He's waiting at the timer, and in comes this thing, and we just about get to this move in the last second as well. I do think this is quite key and quite vital here. Very, very important that I get to that. We farm up to back-to-back moves, and this is basically curtains. I don't think the switch timer's up, so there's no catch available, I don't think here. So yeah, they just let the move through. So yeah, good games there. It's pretty impossible to predict Hunter in the back, and you know, having shielded that first move, it made it very difficult to come back from with the energy lead. In comes the Dragonair lead. I don't like this lead for this team. It's a win for Vigoroth in the 1s. It is quite good for getting shields down, but what you do after getting shields down is kind of tricky, right? Body Slam number 1. They farm up to just before the Body Slam here and throw off their move, which would KO. Now, I can go straight for my move, or I can go for the overfarm anticipating the catch. On this occasion, I go straight for the move. So this right here, with this particular team setup, is a misplay, because I've got a hard answer to Vigoroth on this team. I just come in and punch it the whole way through. Like I said, almost never shield Primeape, which I do find to be quite hilarious. we're going to punch this the whole way through, and we're going to look to either get off an Ice Punch or a Night Slash and something when it comes in. Let's see what the opponent does here. I believe this was a charge bug. Yes, we go for 1 and 4 for good timing here on the Ice Punch. I wonder if I could have got off 2 moves here. Yeah, by the looks of things, yeah, maybe I could have got off 2 moves. So maybe that was a slight misplay. I come into Vigoroth here, just to basically look to absorb the energy. This is still looking very, very tricky, because they do have a very healthy Dragonair. I think what I needed to do here was just call that this would be an X-Scissor. But if I did, the opponent would just come in and farm me down with Dragonair anyway. So this is just super, super rough. As you can see, they've got the move. And yeah, this can be the very big drawback with this team and Hunter in general. It is very, very difficult. Oftentimes, you just don't have enough shields for it. Vigoroth versus Hakamo-O. This is a match you actually win in the zeros. Brick Break is an exceptionally bad move, and even if you run it on Vigoroth, like, it doesn't even help against the Vigoroth mirror. It's not a good move. Actually, I think it does slightly help, but of course you would want to run Body Slam. But yeah, we basically live these. I think we live 2, and we're able to get off. They're just going for Dragon Claw. I'm not sure, like, is there a reason why people are doing that? I mean, it could be possible that he's on Dragon Pulse, but I do think you would probably want Brick Break. It is a little bit better for things like that. Now we come in with this thing. Once again, as always, we're going to farm it the whole way down and basically look to get off a move. I'll happily just eat this energy here and basically look to do what I've been doing the whole time. Try to sweep with Haunter, get the shield, sweep with Haunter. Now unfortunately here, the opponent's kind of smart. They just no-shield this, which kind of makes it awkward, and they come in with a Crocalore. This is so rough. This is so rough. I come in with Haunter. Look how much these Incinerators are doing. I cannot keep pace with them, and they have 2 shields. So my only option is to commit to the farm down. Vigoroth is super low, and yeah, they live within like 1 counter range. So if I got one more fast move on them, I would have got them out, but good games. And in the next game, we have a very positive lead. In comes Dragonair. And again, it's so hard to deal with this Pokemon. So let's see how we decide to deal with it this time. Since I've got a counter for him, I do slightly outpace here. They do go for a CMP tie, or just before the CMP. I decide to shield, and I think what he might try to do is throw off the Body Slam, come into the Primeape, and look to farm it the whole way down, potentially. Yeah, I do that. I come into this, and I think I actually no shield. So we're basically on 1 HP after this Body Slam, right? Dragon Breaths are going to come through, rip us to shreds. And we do get off a move and something when it comes back, which is kind of nice. It is Celio, and yeah, this will put a little chip into them, but of course nothing too substantial. Of course we'll come into the Haunter at this point, and you know, of course I could have came into Vigoroth, but I did want to get the energy lead. Now I knew this was going to be just a Body Slam, but I did want to get this energy lead, and I didn't want them to chip me. Look how much the Powder Snows are doing from bulky Celio. A Body Slam would have done a lot of damage. Boom, that takes them out, and the opponent comes into a Hakamo-O. I could go for a super effective Ice Punch, but I think a Sludge Bomb will do more damage here. It's a stab move, and it absolutely rips them to shreds. The opponent isn't able to make it to a move, and Haunter, once again, just so much fun to sweep with. It's basically what I've been doing with Piloswine, except Shadow Haunter can more or less one-shot 90% of things in this comp. Togetic in the lead, decent lead. I'm decently satisfied to play this out the same way I did before. I'm pretty much going to go for 2 moves. The opponent built up a decent amount of energy. I'm perfectly fine with this. I'm going to go for 2 Rock Slides. If they want to try and call the bait, that's perfectly fine. If they want to give me alignment, that's perfectly fine as well. When I take them out, they most likely will come into their own Vigoroth, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. As I mentioned, I do have very good IVs on the Vigoroth, and we do live this on 1 HP to get off the Rock Slide. Very, very huge, and it's a pretty good reason to run good IVs in your Vigoroth. Yep, so we take them out and they come into their own Vigoroth. This is perfect at this point. They're going to come in, they're going to throw a move. I'm actually going to shield it on this occasion. What I was predicting is Togetic and 2 things that are weak to counter. We go for the CMP tie here, just on 1 HP. If the opponent shields this, this is a very, very big telltale sign that they're weak to this. Oh, they do shield. That's a very, very big sign that I have to shield back. We'll see what's in the back. Body Slam coming through, we'll counter it the whole way down, and in comes Graveler. We're going to get up to back-to-back moves. I believe it takes them, I think it's 8 Rock Throws for the move, for Rock Blast, if I'm not mistaken. I know Carbink is 9 for the Rock Slide. I think it's 8 for Rock Blast. This second move, it's going to take them out, and we'll counter down the Vigoroth. Good games well played, and the opponent didn't see my third Pokemon. Primeape done a fantastic job that match. And yep, once again we have Golbat lead. Now, I'm thinking if you're looking to get shields off this thing, because I do easily live a Rock Slide, maybe it is smarter going for Rock Slide Body Slam, but I think like they oftentimes let this move go, and they can just CMP you twice. I'm not too sure here if the second Poison Fang takes out. I think it does just about take out from here if they CMP it. So they are quite low, and they're just in the perfect range for the farm down. Yeah, that does KO. So you just go for Rock Slide. We get free Shadow Claws through, and in comes Piloswine. Not messing about, not building up to it, of course. I'm just going to go straight for the Ice Punch. Haunter just guarantees shields, it guarantees it. And yeah, in comes this thing. Once again, Primeape sweeping in the back line. Haunter didn't have a lot to do, but just the pressure from the charge attack got the shield down and allowed Primeape to basically finish it off there. Now, in comes Dragonair lead. The opponent makes a very nice catch. Whenever they do this, this makes it so difficult. Dragonair lead is just, I feel like it's the worst lead for this team, even though you can get shields down. which is technically what you want. If you can basically avoid getting caught on in that matchup, that is a way to win that match. So we're going to farm it the whole way down. They probably come back in with their thing. No, they come into Golbat, so I'll happily go for an Ice Punch here. Another team ABI weak to Ice, and that's of course why Dusclops and Piloswine's been doing so well. The opponent will get to a move. It will be a Poison Fang here, which is kind of annoying, but I decide I'm going to get the farm down and basically look to throw a move on the Dragonair. This is still going to be a very close matchup. We go for the Ice Punch, boom, that gets the shield. We're going to come into the Vigoroth here. The opponent stored 10 Dragon Breaths and done a further 10, the CMP in this move. So they're on 20, so that means after this they're on 8. So I think what I should have tried to do here is no shield this, just let this through, and go for the farm down with Haunter with the shield. That was definitely a misplay. I think they were going to farm me down though, so I think either way this is kind of rough. But I think that was my win con that match. I shouldn't have shielded the Vigoroth, I should have went for the farm down with Haunter. Good games to the opponent there. Dragons are certainly very, very tough for this, and we see another one, okay. So let's see if we can somehow make an adjustment here. Can we actually beat this team? It's been an absolute thorn in my side the whole time. I do go for an overfarm this time, hoping they maybe give me a free counter or something like that. They shield once, I'm going to shield once. Like maybe I could just let this move go, maybe that'll be a good way to play this. Just let it go and come into Primeape and start countering it. Now I anticipated the catch this time, and I think that's a big, big adjustment, because I don't have to shield this move, and I can basically look to counter this into a range where I can be on 1 HP, and if they shield twice, this is pretty much curtains for them. Yep, nice slash coming through, the opponent shields twice, and yeah, this is game over. Now what I expect is the blind body slam. The opponent does go for the blind body slam, because I banked the move, and they knew if they didn't throw, I was going to throw, so we're going to farm this the whole way down. The opponent sees the writing on the wall at this point. Energy lead, shield up, it's game over. And to finish off the Shadow Hunter battles here, we do go 4-1, and that's us back up to 32-44 elo, so almost where I started using Shadow Hunter, which is kind of cool. Now I decided to record some extra battles with this today, because honestly, Shadow Hunter is the most fun I've had in this cup. Today I was having one of those days where I was trying out different teams, and I was playing like a bit of a potato today, not playing super well, so I decided, you know what, we might as well buffer this video out with a little bit of extra Shadow Hunter gameplay. Now we're actually playing against Flames here. I shout out to Flames, he's a very, very good battler. We have a negative lead, but we decide to play the same sort of strategy. We just get shields down with Haunter, they get the attack boost here, so I'm pretty much happy to take this out. We're only on 1 HP, so he should get minimal farm with whatever he comes in with. Now in comes Vigoroth. I decide to come back into my own Vigoroth to basically try to put them into like Shadow Claw and Ice Punch range. I'm up a shield at this point, and Haunter can still do very well from here. We shield up, fire off the body slam, and we'll see what they want to do here. I'm thinking they probably let this go, and at this point, yeah, it's Shadow Hunter time. Look at these Shadow Claws add up, this is a normal type. I could have threw the move here, which might have been a little bit better. I wouldn't have had to invest the shield, and the body slam comes through. Now in comes Piloswine. Now we build up to basically what would be a Shadow Ball and an Ice Punch. Unfortunately, we are in Sludge Bomb on this occasion, but you're going to see that Sludge Bomb came in very, very handy later on. Sludge Bomb, even though resisted, will do more raw damage. That's why I threw that move. The opponent does get the CMP tie here with the Avalanche, and this of course will take out probably 3 Hunters. We're going to try to counter it down, and back in comes Vigoroth. Unfortunately, they just have a little bit more HP than me, and unfortunately I can't survive those counters. Good games well played. That was the one occasion I wish I had Shadow Ball. If I had Shadow Ball, we would have taken the win there. It was a good no shield by him, because his basic win con at that point was for me to go Ice Punch first and then Shadow Ball. Hopping into the next one, we have another Dragonair lead. Again, I'm fairly happy with this lead. Dragonairs just absolutely love shielding, so we're fairly happy with that of course. We're going to go for Body Slam number 1 and 2. As you've seen earlier, we've made the adjustment. We're going to try not to get caught on here. I did notice that people were catching less. I have tanked down a little bit of elo today. To be honest, I was playing fairly badly today, like going for bad CMPs, not overfarming correctly. When you're playing at a high level, you have to be on point. The opponent farms us down here, and I decide on this occasion, I think, to go for the Haunter farm down. I've never tried it this way, and the opponent doesn't further move, which is absolutely insane. The opponent will most likely bring in a Vigoroth, and Vigoroth is going to be in for a huge surprise. We're not on Shadow Ball. We're going to go for the massive Sludge Bomb, which as you're about to see does about 80% to it. We catch the Body Slam, and the opponent is just an absolute shambles here. We're going to counter this the whole way down, and in comes Piloswine. We still have a shield up, so that's going to be good games well played. When I put on Sludge Bomb, this is exactly what I was looking for. Vigoroth down shields. Nobody would really anticipate a Haunter without Shadow Ball, so that definitely worked pretty nicely there. In the next match here, I believe we have another Dragonair lead, a very popular lead. I was running Togetic today for a while. It seems like a very decent lead at the minute, especially with Steel Wing. It allows you to do pretty good damage to these Dragonairs, of course, resisting Dragon Breath. I was off track with my counts here, and I do end up CMPing the opponent. The good thing is, the opponent's dumped all of their energy, and it's Haunter time. The opponent swaps out to a Vigoroth. Ladies and gents, you know what time it is. It is Sludge Bomb time. Once again, this is going to do roughly 80% to them. That's a very bad Vigoroth, and we catch the Rock Slide this time. The opponent, once again, is just in an absolute mess after that one. What will the opponent come into? They come into a Crocalor. Is this game still winnable? Crocodile is very, very tricky. Incinerate just does an absolute ton of damage here. Night Slash #1 coming through. We even get to another Night Slash, and I think at that point, we actually do have a win con in this game. Boom, that gets them very, very low. The opponent swaps into Dragonair for the snipe. I'll come into my Haunter, farm them the whole way down in 2 Shadow Claws. Back in comes Crocodile. I think the only win con for the opponent is to go for the farm down, but of course, Haunter with Shadow Claw is going to do a lot more. Good games all played to the opponent there, and yeah, Sludge Bomb once again coming in very clutch. Togetic lead. I'm very happy to see this in the lead. I have lost a few matches to Togetic with this team. It is a little bit tricky. Of course, the opponent probably recognizing that Dragonair is absolutely everywhere. I do think if you're running it in the lead to counter Dragonair, it is far better with Fairy Wind. I've already invested in Elite TM for Primordial, which if you guys don't know, it's for Battle Frontier. The recommended moveset is Steel Wing because of all the rock types in that meta. So for me, I'm basically locked into that moveset, but I do think Fairy Wind has a lot of niche play. Now we do get the Shadow Ball through, and in comes the Vigoroth here. You guys know what time it is. Does the opponent respect the Sludge Bomb here? This would do an absolute ton of damage. We've seen it once. Boom, that almost takes them out. And unfortunately, that was a CMP tie. Now this is just a body slam, so I'm happy enough to let this through. And in comes a Piloswine in the back. This is game over for the opponent. I tried to go for a CMP tie. The opponent did not fall for it, but it doesn't really matter what happens here at this point. We guarantee the shield, and in comes Primeape for the farm down. They do get off 2 moves here, but of course, the Vigoroth was basically dry, and we still have 2 shields here to hide behind. Primeape going to counter down the rest of this team. That's going to be good games. So yeah, these were my games from today with Shadow Haunter. Now I'm going to showcase some battles I've done with regular Haunter. This is a completely different team. We're using a double Ghost in the back with normal in the front. I was using this team in Go Battle Day for a while, trying to make a legend push with Haunter. I thought that'd be kind of fun. They let the body slam go through. I think I should go for a catch here. Yeah, I do go for a nice catch. So we store a body slam. That could come in very handy later on. And Daddy Dusclops is going to hex it the whole way down. The opponent eventually swaps out into Dragonair, giving us that energy lead. Could be a little bit tricky for them. Boom, Ice Punch coming through. That's going to guarantee the shield. And we should be able to get the second one off here just before they get to the next move. That's fantastic. The opponent could have for a move, but I guess they are going for an overfarm here. I guess they're committing to the farm down at this point. I think they realize I will make it to the move, so they decide to throw the Aqua Tail. Now here it is, folks. I go for the CMP tie on this move, just to basically get this super low. Like, this is not a farm down range for Haunter, as you've seen from earlier battles. You know, the Shadow Haunter, it gets ripped to shreds by these, and now it's time. We swap in comes our Primeape. We're going to look to go for the big Shadow Ball. The opponent switch lock themselves, they can't swap back out. Boom, Shadow Ball coming through. The opponent's not going to get the shield off us. It's Haunter versus the world, and Haunter wins. Good games, very, very fun one there. You know what is kind of disappointing about playing Haunter is, the opponents never give you the satisfaction of just nuking their whole team, which kind of annoys me. It's just like, you give them absolutely no win con. That's the thing. Whenever you get that particular situation, shield advantage, energy advantage, game over. The opponents know it, they just immediately top left. So right here we have our Dusclops on the Dragonair. Very, very good position to be in. We can throw off 2 Ice Punches. The opponent can live an Ice Punch, so they can let that go and get off a second move. And again, I'm pretty happy with this. We pretty much get the energy advantage, and actually we still live the Aqua Tail, and we get the alignment as well. We get off an Ice Punch on the Togetic, and if the opponent lets us through, we actually might even be able to farm this the whole way down with Haunter, which would be, oh, we almost get to the next move. That would have been huge. And we're going to come into, okay, I have Vigoroth. I like this play. Coming into Vigoroth, absorb the energy first, and then it's going to be Haunter time very soon. Yep, absorb both moves, and just say, you know what, Shadow Haunter time. Let's go for it. We resist these Fairy Winds, and we're going to start just absolutely loading up on energy. We have 2 shields, they have 1. No matter what's in the back, they have to shield at least 1 move, right? So we're going to keep farming. We go for the CMP time on the next Aurelius, and if the opponent shields this, it's basically game over. In comes Matang in the back. This is absolute curtains for the opponent. I'm not going to go for the bait here. I think I end up CMPing a body slam. I think at this point, the opponent says, fuck this, I'm out, and just lets the move go. Haunter, just too strong in that situation there. Yet another Dragonair lead. I don't think this is a good lead, because if you catch a Vigoroth lead at Dusclops, any Pokemon that gets to the charge move in 5, like a Golbat even, right, you have to shield moves, or otherwise you get farmed down. So it's pretty tough to run in the lead. You're pretty much giving up 2 shields straight away, and if you're like me, you know, with a Pokemon like Dusclops, with a Pokemon like Haunter in the back, even things like Piloswine, as I was showcasing in the last video, you're pretty much always getting a shield for your back Pokemon, and that can be very, very deadly in this cup. A lot of people have mentioned they don't really enjoy this cup too much. I think it's been a lot of fun. Every match feels very neutral. I never think, oh, I'm getting hard countered for like 2 sets in a row, there's nothing I can do. Every match that I lost today, I played very badly today. I could have won a lot of those matches had I played a little bit better. Of course, there were some tricky team comps, right? I had some matches with Crocodile, some matches that were a little bit awkward. But for the most part, almost every game is neutral in this cup, and that's why I quite like it. Now, I go for Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball does more raw damage than a super effective Ice Punch, and we're going to farm down the Dragonair. Good games, well played. Guys, if you're looking for a fun Pokemon to use on the final day of Evolution Cup, use Haunter or Shadow Haunter. It is a lot of fun. Just use 2 Pokemon that can get shields. You can go for this sort of team composition, a normal double ghost, right? Vigoroth almost guarantees shields off every Pokemon. Dusclops, very bulky, can get shields with Poltergeist or of course land the nuke. Or the team I was using earlier was pretty fun as well, with the Primeape in the back. Primeape was just doing so much work. I do highly recommend using that Pokemon, or even trying to build a team around it. Using Primeape as a sweeper instead of Haunter could be very good. So you could use something like Vigoroth, Primeape, and Dusclops perhaps. I think that could have a lot of play, because oftentimes I was just farming down full backlines with Primeape, and I thought it worked very, very well. But anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet done so, and let's just check out this last battle here. So, Arctobax, quite an interesting pick here in this cup. I'm surprised I haven't seen it more. They do get the farm down, and it is Haunter time. We basically need to commit to the farm down here, come out with as much energy as possible. Luckily the opponent's not going for Icy Wind, that would be kind of devastating here. The opponent finally does swap out into a Golbat here, and we're going to look to go for a CMP here. I decided an Ice Punch is going to be enough at this point. We have Shadow Clawed them down quite a lot, boom, that comes through. In comes Dragonair, can we get to this move? We do get to the Ice Punch. So this is where the non-Shadow is a little bit better. And do we have enough left in the tank to take out the Arctobax? Unfortunately not, guys, unfortunately not. You run out of HP just so quickly, and yeah, it can be very, very tough. So honestly, using normal Haunter over Shadow Haunter probably makes a lot more sense, because you're probably able to survive and get off like a last second move a little bit more often. I did find with Shadow, like while I was hitting extremely hard and just doing an absolute ton of damage, it's so hard to live moves. The opponent makes a nice catch here on the Primeape, and they decide to come into the Dusclops right here. I think it's more or less in Ice Punch and Hex down range. They go for Ice Punch, so the opponent must be on a fighting moveset, which basically gives me license to go for a huge overfarm here. We farm up to basically 100 energy. We're going to go for a 1 and throw here for good timing. This should just about KO the Primeape, and we should even be able to get off a Poltergeist and whenever comes in. In comes Togetic. Now at this time, I did not realize how good Poltergeist was. I should have went for it. The opponent ends up throwing off a move, so I guess that kind of works out, but I think I could have got off the Geist, which would have been nice. Aurelius coming through. Once again, we're going to go on ahead and force the energy here. The opponent doesn't throw a move, which is quite fortunate. This Rock Slide should get the shield, and we're in a pretty decent spot here. I can decide to go for the aggro swap. I'm going to have to shield anyway, so I probably should have let them take out the Vigoroth, to be completely honest. And in comes Dragonair. Can we actually make it to 2 moves? If this was the Shadow, we definitely would not be making 2 moves. The opponent just lets it through. I'm not too sure why they let that through, to be honest with you, but good games well played. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you did, drop a like, subscribe, and feel free to join our Discord community in the description down below. Thank you very much everybody for the support in the videos. It is very much appreciated, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for a brand new video.